Happy Valentine's Day, my sweet. I have this giant rose for you. I picked it myself. I hope you like it. I just came to wish you a beautiful Valentine's Day. And if you're alone and you feel unloved, I love you and you can take mine. I freely give it. It's pure, divine, and has no chains and no ties. And it comes to you completely pure from my heart to yours. Here's a brief history to go with my little greeting. Valentine's Day started from the festival of Lupercalia, and it was a fertility festival held around the mid-February back in before organized religion and before Christianity. And it was the celebration of Romulus and Remus, I may be saying that incorrectly, who were known to, or the fable to be raised by a she-wolf. So every year at about this time in February, the Roman priest would gather at the cave that was thought to be Romulus and Remus raising home. Sorry. And they would sacrifice a goat to please the gods, and it would also be a festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, who predates Romulus and Remus, that I understand. And they would sacrifice a goat for blessings from the gods, and then they would sacrifice a lamb, I believe. Let's see. Dog, sorry. I believe it's a dog for purification. So this would to be please the gods, and they would strip the goat. It's a goat and a dog, I'm sorry. I don't know how to edit this, so you're just going to have to take all this terrible stuff with it. They would dip the hides of the animals in blood, and they'd go through town and they'd slap people with the bloody hides and the fields so that the women and people would be prosperous and fertile for that year. They would take the single women's names and then put them in a giant bowl, and the bachelors would pick the women's names from a bowl, and they would pair off for the year to increase the productivity and help the community thrive with fertility and births. And they usually got married at the end of the year, so when the festival came over. So it was carried on by the Roman Catholic Church. Recognizes, I believe, 3 St. Valentines that were all martyred. The one that we're most familiar with is the one in the 3rd century, who would marry people in secret against the king's wishes, because the king thought that single men made the better soldiers rather than married and family men. And he went to jail for it, and then he eventually got murdered. And another St. Valentine was in jail for I don't know what. Who knows? He was probably pagan. And he fell in love with his jailer's daughter. And the last letter he wrote before he died was, "From your Valentine." So there's 2 or 3 of them. 3rd century. There's one that was celebrated. His death was on 270 A.D. And there was one in the 5th century. So it's kind of a combination, and it all began with a pagan festival of fertility, and this is the year of the bird's return and mating, and start planting and sowing seeds in the ground and things of that nature. And it just kind of evolved from there. It came late into the Americas, and greetings started in Europe. So you take it as it is. I think we should show love and appreciation for each other year round, but today is on Valentine's Day is a special day of long standing worship of love, fertility, togetherness, appreciation. So I hope you have a fertile and loving year. And come join me in my group on Facebook.com/groups/Ask Jean, and let's have a discussion. Thanks.